Hey everybody. So today we have a broken rod. I'm going to work on fixing that. And I know there's probably more than one way to go about doing this, but this is the way I found that works for me. Is I get a piece. This is a piece of a fiberglass rod, and then I'll put it on the inside, and I fitted it already so it fits in both sides. And I'll put it on both sides like that. Okay, so I fit one on the inside, and then I take a piece and I sanded it down, and this will go on the outside. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, so I got that, and it fits on the outside. And obviously you want it to be snug, but have a little room for some glue in there. So once you get this on the inside and this on the outside, it seems to hold fairly well. You will lose some action of the rod here. This fiberglass on the inside is longer, so it won't affect it because it's flexible, but this piece will make it fairly stiff in that spot, and it will create a little stiffness. But it seems to hold. It seems like if you only do the outside or the inside, it seems like it still wants to move and it wants to play, and eventually that glue will work loose and it'll break again at the same spot. It seems like if you do both, the inside and the outside, it holds it, and then it doesn't seem to break again. Now, it's not pretty, it doesn't look the best, and I'll wrap over this with some thread and cover it up with epoxy, a couple coats of epoxy to try and make it look semi-clean. But there's no mistaking the fact that there's a piece there. But it's functional again. And that's probably the big thing. So that's what I do. I'll mix up some glue and I'll start back up with it. And then there's not a whole lot to the glue part, but I can show you what it looks like when it's done. And then once the glue dries, we'll wrap some thread out and I'll show you that part too. See you in a bit. All right, so I got some pro paste mixed up, and I like to use this for rod repair for the simple fact of is any kind of epoxy will run or settle no matter how you set it. So I want this to stay where I put it, hopefully, and kind of goes from there. So anyway, before you can put it on there, you have to the outside one on before you can put the inside one in. Once you get that, you can't get the two pieces on there again. If you don't put this on before you put them together, obviously you'll have to take it apart to put it on. So I slide it up out of the way. And then this, let's see, I just kind of try and get glue in there if I can, and spin it around, try and get as much glue in there as I can. Again, it's as small as I can get it to fit, or as big as I can get it to fit, I should say, because I want it semi-snug. So and I know I cleaned everything with acetone first. I didn't sand this down, so hopefully it shows up a little bit better in the video. but if you sand it, obviously you get a better bond. So that's pretty good. Take my and there's no good way to do this. If there is a good way, I haven't found it yet. I suppose I could use gloves, but then you can't seem to feel what you're doing. So there's that. Now, and this one is fairly snug. The snugger it is, the better it'll obviously it'll fit. For the simple fact is, if it's not snug, the rod might not sit level. It might, sit like this on the crack if you don't have it snug enough. So you got to kind of watch that too. Kind of got. Oh, I put it on upside down. That's why I won't go on very far. All right, so I had it on the wrong direction. So that's why I didn't want to go on very well. So now this one will stick on. There, that's better. And then clean it up a little bit. Okay, so that's what it looks like as of now. And then once I get the glue dried, I will put some thread over it. Now you can see just, so it will be functional again. Like I said, it doesn't always look the best. And then you just make sure you line everything up and let the glue dry. So, all right, we'll check back in a bit. So now I have the splicing and fixed. Now I just wrap some thread over to kind of clean it up, and then epoxy over the top to finish. I'm sure there's other ways to do a finish on that. This is just what I've done, and it seems to hold up. So okay.